This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
A 23-year-old New Providence man was today charged in the magistrate's court with the alleged rape of a relative.
He allegedly had sex with the relative without her consent on Tuesday, August 6th. The accused was not required to enter a plea to the charge when he appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Joyanne Pratt Ferguson in Court Number 9 on Nassau Street. His attorney, Glendon Roll, requested that his client be evaluated at the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center. However, that request was denied. Magistrate Pratt Ferguson instead ordered that he be evaluated by a doctor at Her Majesty's Prison who will determine whether further psychiatric evaluation is necessary. The prosecution objected to bail due to the nature of the charge, and the accused was remanded to prison until November 8th when he will return to court for a voluntary bill of indictment.
Springfield Road in the Fox Hill community has been renamed in honor of a man who has made tremendous contributions to that community. Last night, government officials, Fox Hillians, and family members of Dr. Frank Edgecombe witnessed the unveiling of Frank Edgecombe Street during a ceremony held on the grounds of the Edgecombe residence. Dr. Edgecombe represented Fox Hill for 10 years and was vice president of the Senate for 5 years. He was also the longest-serving chairman of the Road Traffic Department and is praised for selfless commitment to the church. But most of all, Fox Hill MP Fred Mitchell says Dr. Edgecombe is a prime example of quiet dedication and hard work.
Of quiet dedication, hard work, which he put in for the people of Fox Hill, a place that he loves, and he is a prince of this village. And it is for all those reasons, both national and personal, that I am happy, Prime Minister, to welcome you and the Deputy Prime Minister to Fox Hill today to rename this street where Mr. Edgecombe lives in his honor, Frank Edgecombe Street.
Prime Minister Perry Christie and Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis were among the officials present. Mr. Christie says we have an obligation to honor our people.
Say to Frank Edgecombe, it was a truly privilege to lead a government that made a decision to honor you in this small way, hoping that when people ask the question, why was this street named after Frank Edgecombe, someone would be able to tell the story. And hopefully when they tell the story, the younger ones would then see what our Commonwealth of the Bahamas was made up of.
So I want to say thank you all for coming along and honoring me in this fashion.
Now, there was a spelling boo-boo on the sign. One of the letters was missing from Edgecombe, but Minister Mitchell has confirmed that Ministry of Works Street Signage Division will be correcting that mistake very soon.
Well, the rich history of the Fox Hill community was highlighted by area MP Fred Mitchell during the Fox Hill lecture series.
Now it's part of the 2-week Fox Hill Festival. Mr. Mitchell, who also serves as Minister of Foreign Affairs, said despite the great accomplishments of the people of Fox Hill, there are still many concerns, including the ongoing issue of illegals coming into the area.
Fox Hill has changed with the coming of the new subdivisions and the people from over town, as the outsiders are called by Fox Hillians. The newcomers must know the history. The story that I've told tonight is about the people that we call Bahamians. The more problematic entrants are the Haitian migrants who have settled in low-cost rental units throughout the area. Their children make up almost a third of the Sandilands Primary School, and if they're going to continue to be part of the unfolding story of Fox Hill, will they be told the story so that the story becomes their story?
Prime Minister Perry Christie stressed that the Bahamian story must be preserved for future generations.
We must cause the historians in our midst to capture the stories of great Bahamians which make up the stories of the Bahamas, which makes up the history of the Bahamas. And to recognize that if we have failed, that's where we have failed.
Well, today marked the culmination of the Bahamas National Council for Disabilities Enrichment Camp, where more than 100 students participated. Attending the camp this week were students from organizations such as the Nazareth Center, the Children's Emergency Hostel, and REACH. Today, students participated in skits and other fun-filled activities. Special honor was given to Coraline Hanna for her contributions to children with special needs. Immediate past president of the Bahamas National Council for Disability, Sheila Culmer, pointed out that the council is also celebrating its 40th anniversary, which coincides with the country's birthday.
Having 50 children, but not so. We had about 150, 155 children and 10 volunteers initially, and we wound it up with just over 40 volunteers. Persons were just awesome, something that I never ever dreamed, and to God be the glory. And we just thought it fitting to let her know how much we appreciate it, because I don't know how many of our people really know of her, and especially her contribution.
Now, Dr. Coraline Hanna was more than happy to take part in the activities.
And it's an honor, and I love working with the Bahamas National Council for Disability, and actually my career has been working with children with special needs, and I have been trained in England and in Canada for this work. So I really like to see that the children are so successful and they're making out in every which way.
Well, Atlanta's Paradise Island is once again hosting the Miss Teen USA pageant. This will be the 6th consecutive year the competition has been held at the resort. 51 contestants will take the stage tonight for the preliminary show, followed by the actual crowning of Miss Teen USA on Saturday. After a day of fun and rehearsals, Teen USA contestants were introduced Wednesday night among fanfare during a welcome reception at Royal Towers. Contestants were able to let down their hair and dance the night away at the reception. They say Atlantis provides the perfect balance for such stiff and intense competition. George Marcantonis, Girls International President and Managing Director, welcomed them.
Things like this that when I see the people that are going to be involved, I wish I wasn't the president here. I wish I was just a judge. Not because I want to be a judge, but they're going to have the best seats. These girls look amazing. I'd like you to give them, and all the staff who are working this over the next few days, a big round of applause. And also want you all to know that on behalf of the 8,000 employees that work here at Atlantis, we're really delighted to have you all in the Bahamas.
Well, coming up in sports, a big showdown on the Summer of Thunder court. We've got the highlights in ZNS Total Sports.
And coming up later, the meaning of love. We'll explain. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain. The Goombay Summer Festival returns to the capital tonight. Director of Events for the Ministry of Tourism, Charity and Brister said the Goombay Summer adds to the cultural and entertainment offerings of the island. And Brister added that this is another event where guests can meet local residents and immerse themselves in Bahamian music, dance and cuisine. She noted that the festival also brings the potential for increased tourism revenue. Goombay Summer Festival will be held at Pompey Square and Woods Rogers Wharf for the next 3 weeks. The event will feature the best in Bahamian entertainment, authentically Bahamian craft and cuisine. Abaco has one of the fastest growing economies in the Bahamas, and in an attempt to train and develop the workforce on that island to meet the business needs, a leaders meeting will be hosted next week. Horizon Development Group will stage a leaders luncheon where the topic creating and maintaining a quality service culture through training will take place. Executive Director of the National Training Agency, Agatha Marcel, is expected to bring the keynote address. And unemployment figures in Canada climbed to 7.2% as joblessness rose among the youth. The Government Statistics Bureau reported that unemployment fell by 30,000 last month, leading to the 0.1% fall in the jobless rate. Now, unemployment rose in all areas except in Alberta, New Brunswick, and Saskatchewan, where it fell. Those jobs losses came mainly in the public sector, while gains were registered in business, building, and other support services. That was a look at your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain.